is just a waltz. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. Days go by. It's the bigger love of the family.
Okay, so this will be the input form for Kurang Laku's customer order data. The customer order data form will consist of primarily two parts: order summary and membership info. The order summary will consist of different GUI controls, such as text box for the DVD's inventory number and DVD's name, and text area for the DVD's description, and then the drop-down list box for the DVD's quality, and command buttons for commands such as scan, reset, submit, calculate total, and search. And okay, for the membership info, it will consist of only text boxes, such as for the member ID number and member ID name. The reason why we came up with this form is because why are there so many scans and resets? The reason behind this is because let's say a customer comes and then he or she has already picked a DVD and shown it to the clerk, and then the clerk would immediately know the information of the DVD due to the RFID, picks the DVD from the warehouse, and this is where the input form comes in. Let's say the customer orders. Let's say the customer plans to rent 2 or maybe 3 DVDs. So the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth rows will be filled with the respective data, such as the DVD's inventory number. For the first DVD will be placed in the first row in the text box of the DVD's inventory number on the first row. The second DVD will be placed in the DVD's inventory number text box in the third row, and this will happen automatically. So the moment the DVD is scanned, the moment the DVD is scanned through the RFID, all of this information will immediately pop up in all of these text boxes, and we also know that after the clerk has already picked the DVDs from the warehouse, the customers are given the opportunity to check on the quality of the DVDs, such as, for example, the customers will be given the chance to watch a preview of the DVDs they've chosen and decide whether they're going to go for that quality or not. And this is the reason why we have this drop down list box for the DVD's quality, because, as I said, the moment the DVD is scanned through the RFID, all of this data will immediately appear in the input form together with the DVD's quality. So knowing that the customer is given the opportunity to check on the quality on their own, this therefore the clerk will be able to change the DVD's quality based on the customer's experience. So we get to hear the customers on whether the quality is correct or not. For example, for the first DVD, the quality is stated to be good, but then after the customer tested it, watched the preview of the DVD, the quality turns out to be medium, for example, or maybe bad. The clerk then has to change the quality, the DVD's quality, to bad. And the reason behind this uh, will be explained on the output part actually. And so that explains for the DVD's inventory number and DVD's quality. And for the DVD's name, it will immediately appear the moment the DVD is scanned through the RFID as well. And now we're going to talk about the scan command button. The reason why we have this command button is because when the customer when a DVD that the customer has chosen is scanned through the RFID using the RFID. Before doing that, the clerk needs to press the scan command button first, so that the information or all the respective data of the DVD will appear in that respective two rows. For example, the clerk click on the on the scan button located on the fourth row, for example. Then once the DVD is scanned using the RFID, the information of the DVD will only appear on the third and the fourth row. So now about the reset button. The reset button, as the name suggests, this will be used to reset the information that has been that is located on that respective rows. This will this design is used to accommodate the situation whenever or anticipate the situation when the customer, for example, decides to not rent one of the DVDs. And the DVD's rent fee, of course, this will be used to, and the calculate total button, this will be used to calculate the total DVD's rent fee. And moving to the right side of the form, we have DVD's inventory number as well as the DVD's description. At first, our group thought that it would take the whole a whole chunk of the form, or too much. It will take too much part of the screen to have the DVD's description stick to every single of the all of these DVD's information. So we decided that we would create this function where whenever, for example, the customer asks about the synopsis for a DVD, for example, that means what the clerk has to do is only to copy and paste the DVD's inventory number from the left side and then paste it on the DVD's inventory number text box located on the right side, and then click on the search button. And upon clicking the search button, the DVD's description or the synopsis of the DVD will immediately appear on this text area located on the right side below the text box and the search command button. So for the membership info, this data of the DVD member ID number and member ID name, they will also appear, or they will also become available immediately the moment the membership card of the customer is scanned by the system. So basically, all of this will be done automatically, and the only manual interference would be coming from the changing of the DVD's quality manually, the pressing of the command buttons, the copy pasting of the DVD's inventory number, as well as the last one, the most below part here, clicking the submit, which is clicking the submit command button. So going back, why 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 does this input form seem complicated, especially for the replication of the DVD's inventory number, DVD's name, and DVD's quality, and like have it being replicated or duplicated 5 times. So actually, we had a plan on using Ajax, but since this whole system will be done offline and not online, we thought that it would be hard to use Ajax because from what we read, Ajax only works with the recent web browsers or something like that. And we actually did try to search whether there was a way to implement Ajax offline, and it turned out that it would require us to install some sort of API or a plugin in order to allow us to implement Ajax into our system offline. So what we did is we had discussed on what would be the maximum number of DVDs that the customer is allowed to rent in how many DVDs is a customer allowed to rent during the first order, I guess. And then we decided that it would be 5. So 5 would be the maximum. So we made this set of DVDs inventory information 5 times. And also, we actually didn't create an event response chart because, as the book said, for input form that is quite complicated, if the input form is quite complicated, then that would be the time where the organization would be advised to create an event response chart. But since most of this will happen automatically with few to medium manual interference, then we don't think that it will require an event response chart.
So now I'm going to explain about the input data for the membership card making process. So here's we have the first name, last name, which are obvious for membership card, where the owner of the membership card will put on their full names in it. And then we have the membership ID, which will be predetermined by the physical card. There will be the membership ID on the cards, so when the clerk swipe it on the computer, it will automatically pop up, and then the clerk will continue to fill all those data that is needed. And then we have date of birth, which is normal and pretty much in every membership card for legal issues, where the owners have to be at a certain age, and an address for the customer, for the clerk to know where the customers live, perhaps if they don't return DVDs in the future, and then obviously creation and expiration date for the card itself. So it's pretty much straightforward for the membership card, and it's pretty common in membership card making process. So pretty much the data are similar, and yeah, it will be used throughout the DVD borrowings in the future.
Now
let's talk about the output that derived from the input that has been explained earlier by our teammates. So we have identified some output. So the first one is kurang laku sales per quarter. As you can see, the sales in each quarter is very much different. And as you can see, in the second quarter and the fourth quarter is considerably higher than the other quarter, since we expect that it is a holiday season, thus making customer more likely to go to our store. And all is in Indonesian rupiah. So the first quarter is total about sales in 50 million rupiah, and the sales in second quarter is 53 million rupiah. The third quarter is about 46 million rupiah, and the fourth quarter about 54 million rupiah. And based on that, we can also form another output, which is the customers per quarter. So there are three columns. The first column is stated the period total sales. The second column is old or returning customers, and the third column is about new customers. And in the first quarter, the total sales is 50 million, and we expect or we forecast there are 1,800 old or returning customers and 700 new customers. And the second quarter is about 53 million Indonesian rupiah in sales, and the old or returning customers about 1,850 old customers and 800 new customers. Whereas in third quarter, the sales is 46 million rupiah, and the old returning customer is 1,650, and the new customer is about 650 customers. And then the fourth quarter, which is our highest sales in EA, the total sales is 54 million, and the old customer or returning customer is totaling of 2,000 customers, and the new customer is 700. Where we assume that price per quantity of DVD rented is 20,000 rupiah.
Hello, now I'm going to discuss about other outputs that we try to observe aside from the ones our friend Heikal discussed earlier. So the first thing I want to discuss is the preferred DVD quality. So we decided to observe the preferred DVD quality chosen by kurang laku customers. And based on our projections, we estimated that a majority of kurang laku customers tended to prefer 1080p or 1080i, since it was the most decent video quality without having to need suitable televisions or video players. What I mean by this is, if you want to rent a 4K or a Blu-ray DVD, you could, and it would have a better quality than the 1080p and 1080i, although you have to have a better television or better DVD players in order to actually play the DVD in their intended resolution. And then we estimated that about 30% would prefer 1080p and 1080i compared to other DVD resolutions. And now the next one is I want to discuss about the DVD rented sales. So the DVD rented sales is another output that we try to observe and try to estimate, and we projected that on average a majority of people tended to rent 1 to 3 DVDs per visit, with the most percentage of people renting 3 DVDs. The reason that we believe this is true is that in our projections, people don't actually come to Kurang Laku to rent just 1 DVD. And if they would actually do that, there would be more impulse buys or impulse purchases that will lead them to purchase more. And we believe that it would decrease after the 3-point mark, 3 DVD mark. Like, for example, it is less likely for impulse purchases to exceed 4 or 5 or more DVDs. So we estimated that the biggest percentage of people would actually rent 3 DVDs per visit. And then the next one that we are going to discuss is the comparison of process time consumed, as we can see on the bar graph on the screen. So this is very important because we chose RFIDs as our main solution, and the main solution would give an advantage in timing of our processes. So we estimated that there would be a decrease in the availability checking process and also in the membership and collateral validation process, since we put RFIDs on both membership cards and DVDs. It would be much easier for the employees to check the DVD availability by scanning the RFID code, and it would be also more efficient for them to input the membership data from the membership cards, since we already have the RFIDs. And I'm going to give you an estimation if our bar graph was not clear enough. So in this estimation, we can see that the checking availability process has decreased by a lot, from 10 minutes to 4 minutes, and the membership and collateral checking or validation process has also decreased into 3 minutes. This in total has added up in a decrease of total processing time of 10 minutes, which we believe to be rather significant for the company. And the last one we are going to discuss is the sales growth before and after RFID. So the line graph we see on the screen right now is stated in the y-axis is stated in million rupiah, and the x-axis is stated in quarters or times or periods. So in this case, since we estimate the implementation of RFIDs in early 2020, so Q1 until Q4 of 2019 is considered the period before implementation, and Q1 until Q4 2020 is considered the period after implementation. So we can see that there's quite a dramatic increase in sales after implementing RFID, and we believe that this will be true because it would installing RFIDs would make the process more efficient, making it decreasing the time consumed for processing, and because of that, it also lets the store be open to more customers and minimizes in-store traffic. Because of this, customers are more likely to walk in the door, as well as employee morale and employee pressures would not be as high. The employee morale would be higher as there would be less pressures. Yes, I think this is it for our presentation, and I think this would be it for my presentation of the outputs. If you have any questions, please ask in our discussion session tomorrow. And thank you very much for your attention.